Hello, everybody. We're back. Sorry for the delay. Some technical difficulties, but they're all sorted out, and we're here, and we're ready to play Spectaculars, New Eden Edition. This is going to be our second issue. We're going to have some new rules that we're introducing this week as well, with some turmoil and aspirations and continuity tokens. But we'll get into that after we go around and everybody can introduce their characters. Jeff, you're up first. Tell us about the Meat Man, please.
The Meat Man, aka Carver Rybeck. He is a soldier of fortune who sort of owns a meat truck, and he has a desire to take down the criminal element of New Eden by feeding them to each other. So that's his aspiration. To do that, he is not a cannibal. There were some theories that he might be a cannibal. He doesn't dabble in his own meats, but that's him. He has the powers of arsenal, so he has tons of cleavers and knives and things like that, and he also has a meat truck as a combat vehicle that has fun little gadgets and gizmos and things that you can use from it. So that's Meat Man.
That is the Meat Man. All right, and Pat, tell us about Alley Cat.
All right, Alley Cat is a streetwise vigilante. But I don't know if that's. She's got a class that's totally different from what I just said, but that's what she is, and she aspires to take down the crime that's infested the city she was raised in, and she is stymied in these regards by a number of different elements in her life, including her own mistakes that she's made and her own inability to relate to other people because she's so logged up in her ideologies. And so yeah, she's an interesting character and pretty badass. And she rides a bike.
She rides an actual bike, not a motorcycle, a bicyclette.
Yeah. It's her beast mobile. It is
beast
a bike.
mode. Yeah. Eric, can you tell us about Grendel?
So Elvis LaCroix, aka Grendel, is the warrior of the group. He is a peerless fighter who powers manifested during a fight, and unfortunately that sent him to jail. So he got out as an ex-con and is trying to rebuild his life. He's a direct genetic descendant of the original Grendel, and his supernatural genes manifested, and he gained the powers of transformation and super strength. Think Venom, Clayface, the guy from the Prototype video games. But now that he's out of jail, he's carefree and confident and wants to be the hero of the story. Not the psychotic vigilante. He wants to be the hero of the story.
You're all heroes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Speaking of our greatest hero, Nightlight. Tell us about Nightlight.
Yeah, Nightlight is Chester Everton is his real name. He is an exchange student from England. He is Nightlight due to his ability to manipulate cold from one hand and heat or fire from another. And he is partnered with the Meat Man, the complete opposite at first sight, but maybe mentally they're more on the same page than we thought. And he's aspiring for people to take him seriously and not think he's a child and think he's Nightlight, a superhero. So that's one of his main aspirations since he's so young.
Okay. Very good. Everybody selected a team role before we start, except for Pat. Pat, what team role did you want to take this week? I think you had leader last week. Did you not?
Yes. Did we still want somebody to be a leader, or is somebody taking the mantle?
I mean, I don't think you actually have to take it, but if you want it, you can.
It's up.
All right,
yeah.
I'll take it.
It's handy. It's handy being able to adjust the initiative tracker. That's a very good skill to have.
Yeah,
okay.
You keep just going straight in and I'll blow you up. It'll work just fine.
So we have a couple of new rules that we're introducing here. So after your first session, it recommends that you write an origin. We're a little bit behind tonight, so I won't get into everybody's origin tonight. We can do that in the future. But we are going to do aspirations and turmoil. So I asked everybody to come up with an aspiration and a turmoil. And either at the beginning of every session or the end of every session, you do a aspiration or turmoil interlude. And in that interlude, you are trying to either further your aspiration or you're trying to reduce or lessen the turmoil that your hero is conflicted with. And it's basically up to you, the players, to tell me what this looks like. What are you doing? How's this playing out? And then we roll some dice, and that's where I kind of step in and throw some challenges at you, if you will, if you fail. And once you do that, you earn a continuity token. So let's do our interludes here for everybody who wants to do it at the top of the episode, and then we can go into continuity tokens and what those mean before I hit you with too much information. So, Meatman, you're first on the overlay. Do you want to do your interlude?
Okay, so I'm gonna work on my aspiration.
Okay.
So Meatman's aspiration is that he wants the crime syndicate, the major, the criminal organization that run the casinos and things like that. He literally wants to start feeding the lower level people to the higher level people, and he wants them to eat themselves.
Like literally feed them.
Literally. There's we'll get into the reasons why when we get into the origin story. So if you recall, last time we had some people that fell in the fight, and Meatman was taking them and storing them in cold storage in the back of his truck. So I was thinking maybe like there was like Food Truck Friday in front of one of the casinos, that happens.
Yeah, it does happen. That's a thing.
And might I be able to prepare some food or drinks, primarily food, for some of the fancy people that
you can
that
prepare
might
some
come
food.
out.
Are you using the bodies from last episode, or are you specifically, do you want like lower level? The Court of Dis is our organization.
Yeah.
Do you want some like low level street?
I
entry,
definitely want
Court of
those
Dis
types
type?
of people.
Okay,
So
okay.
I definitely want people within that syndicate. I don't want just anybody. You can't just get any piece of meat, Matt. You gotta really get the prime cuts.
Well, you had a bunch of just like random bad guys last time that like ran into the bank afterwards. They were more like bad guys of fortune because they were like, hey, an opportunity, we're gonna steal some cash while we're here. Okay. So it's a Friday night. It's hot. It's that, I was gonna say Las Vegas. It's that New Eden heat. You're out in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a lineup of tourists, and you've got, would you say you're very regimented in the way you operate? If people don't follow your rules, you have no time for them.
Yes. He actually was an army cook in his younger life, so he is a fairly organized, despite the disgusting appearance sometimes of his uniform. So he's very organized and kind of has everything by a particular order in his kitchen and lines and all that kind of stuff. Like he wants people coming up. There's a process when you come to order from Deep Cuts.
Okay. I'm going to say there's like a group of 4 drunken frat boys that are currently like buying meat from your wagon, from your meat wagon. And that's when you see coming out of the casino, one of the Court of Dis casinos, 2 underlings. You right away, you recognize them by the way they dress, right? And they have the rosary, like they have distinguishing marks. The upside down rosary, they dress really nicely. You make these guys, you mark them. And these bros is like, hey man, I love your meat. And they're just like being idiots. And they're wasted, drunken frat boys, just really annoying. But they're consuming your time, and you see these guys like you want to get their attention and feed them meat.
Okay, so I'm trying to get rid of these frat boys.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So. Okay, and they are frat boys.
They are frat boys.
I'm afraid of where this is going. I don't know if this is a good path for me here, but I would imagine that I have things that I could feed them that might not sit well with them. Older cuts of meat doesn't have to be like actual gangster meat. It could just be normal meat. I could put up, I'd probably sell drinks of some kind, I would say, since it's Food Truck Friday. So I wouldn't mind putting a little something in their drink just to kind of get back at the whole frat boy culture. And
Little Visine.
yeah, so just to try to get them to either pass out or get sick in the alley.
Okay.
So I would like to try to prepare a special meat cocktail for these frat boys if they like the meat so much.
Okay.
You guys think that's pretty good? You gotta check this out. It's a new thing I'm working on just for fine, supportive fans of the meat like y'all.
They all look at each other and they start laughing. This guy's amazing. He's awesome. And they all like high five. They're spilling drinks everywhere. Bro, can we get a picture with you? And they're like holding up their phones. They're kind of like getting in your way. You're trying to watch these disc guys.
I will never let my full face be shown because it's very scarred and I'm very hairy.
Bro, this is going on Insta.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds good.
All right, they're trying to take your picture.
Okay.
What skill do you want to use here?
I figure it's the first time we've done this, so it makes sense to just go right for the thing I'm good at, which is prepare food or drinks.
Yeah. Which is like number one for you. What, like a 90%?
Yeah, let's just get it going there.
Do
All
it.
right, so I need a 90, and I rolled a 98.
Oh my god! So they're like clicking pictures, and they get a glimpse of you. Like they get a picture of you, and you turn around and you're furious.
I just said, I don't know what that is. And I definitely don't want my picture taken. If you all want to ever come back to this truck again, you best give me whatever gadget or gizmo that's got my face on it right now. Trying to get in their face a little bit. Maybe break their phones. Go
ahead and make me roll. What do you want to use to convince them or intimidate or...
So I figure I probably have, I know I have tons of cleavers and weapons. And so I figure I could take one of my knives and just use a weapon.
Sure.
Which is one of my skills.
I'm going to say, sure. Go ahead and roll that.
Okay.
Don't roll a 98.
I know. I'll probably.
I
rolled a 96.
So his phone is momentarily down on the meat counter where they pay and grab their food, and you take a cleaver and you bring it down. He snatches away. He's like, ha, meat man, we got you,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's funny. You paid with a credit card, you son of a.
So we're gonna cut away then from Meat Man. You did not go to your aspiration. Shit. And your picture's now out there on Insta.
I got his credit card though. I know where he lives. I can find it.
Alley Cat, let's jump over to you. Do you want to further your aspiration?
I was fixing my muting situation. Cool. Yeah. All right. So
do you want to work towards your turmoil?
Ooh, I mean, my turmoil's kind of like a heavier, longer term thing, I feel. So, All right, let's go with my aspiration. And of course, Alley Cat aspires to reduce the suffering in the city she loves in spite of itself. She wants to remove the crime lords and the corrupt cops and foster community-based self-governance. Anarcho-communist, preferably, but she'll settle for normal and not totally corrupt and not quite as shitty as it currently is.
Okay, so what's the situation?
As I mentioned earlier, she's a bit of a dogmatist.
What's the situation that Alley Cat finds herself in that's gonna further her aspiration?
All right. I mean, I don't know. I feel like she probably tries to. So I don't know. So she works as a community. What is the term again? I keep forgetting. Literally, her job.
Social worker.
Social worker. Thank you. Yes. She works as a social worker. So I feel like, with some cases, she tries to. If she believes that a person could be assisted by a community around them that isn't totally hostile or dog eat dog, she probably tries to make like a support group, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And yeah, she probably tries to do that sort of thing in her very, very minimal downtime.
Sure. You're running a support group, we'll say, out of like the basement of or recreational area of a church, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
In
Probably
Paradise,
someone
right?
that I know. Yeah. And trust. Not like, one of the churches that's actually like
No.
partially in line with the casinos and stuff.
Okay.
She
Okay.
definitely sorts that stuff out.
So what's
So
the
yeah, I guess
situation at your
she kind of
support group?
operates like a support group. All right. So let's see. I probably only have like 4 or 5 people at the support group,
Mhm.
and some of them are down on their luck folks who've turned to various unhealthy coping mechanisms, and others are just folks who want to do good like her. Probably more of the unhealthy coping mechanisms types, but this isn't Alcoholics Anonymous.
You know what?
She
Let's
doesn't
also say Matthew Singh
like,
is there from last episode.
yeah.
Let's bring him back.
Oh
The
yeah,
liquor
Matthew
store owner.
Sings there. Totally.
All
That's how
right.
we like each
We've got
other.
continuity
That's how
here.
we know each other. There we are. Yeah. So Matthew Singh, my friend who runs the liquor store, maybe he's the most talkative one there. Honestly, like I think Matthew Singh like gets to know the people who go to his store, and like if ever he sees something fucked up, he totally brings it up at the meeting.
Okay. So what are we rolling here? What are we trying to resolve to further your aspiration?
I mean, so she's trying to come up with like ways that she can build this support group, and ways that she can build outreach to the community, and to undermine the status quo powers. So I don't know. Maybe she's looking for like people in the system that are potentially interested in helping change it.
Okay. So maybe after a meeting, one of the folks who was at the meeting, they were new and they said some things, and you think that they may be able to further your cause. We'll say they're new to the neighborhood.
Okay.
They came from like they came from what's the name of Eve's Garden? They came from the trendy part of town, and they're over here now, and they've got some information. I'm gonna say they used to date a member of the Court of Dis, and they've broken up, and they're scared for their life, and they have some information about the Court of Dis. How about that?
Oh wow! All right. So yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Sorry it took so long to get there.
No, that's okay. This is our first time doing this also, so it's going to take a little longer, and it'll come more natural next session as well, when we do these interludes. Yeah. And these are neat. So these are kind of like, when Peter Parker has to deal with the real life in between being Spider-Man. That's what this is supposed to represent. Like, he's got a wife and responsibilities and a job, and so that's what these little interludes are all about. It's adding a little bit of humanity or character to your hero.
All right, so what's this guy's name?
His name is... That's a good question. What's his name, chat? Chat, give me a name.
All right.
We got a 30-second delay. Throw out a name, chat.
It'll be a long delay.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so you're going to approach them. We'll get a name. Terry. So their name is Terry...
Terry Roger.
Terry Roger. Terry Hulk Hogan Bola. All right. So Terry Roger says, "Hey, I was seeing a member of the Court of Dis. Scared for my life. People in the neighborhood say that you fight them. That you're out to stop them."
Oh, of course, the ears are off. She's in her civilian outfit.
Matthew Singh.
I'm assuming, right?
Matthew Singh told me. Matthew Singh says I should talk to you. Yeah.
Thank you for coming to me. I work as I try to support the community in my work here. I work as a social worker, but I have a lot of friends in important places, and we're all deeply invested in making the city a better place and keeping those who care about it safe. So you were dating someone in the Court of Dis. That's big. That's scary. And they're powerful people, but you know what? Together we can fight to overcome them And, some of us fight in our own ways. We've got, I don't know if you've seen the news, but there are people out here taking a stand against the Court of Dis. There are masked superheroes, but not everybody can do that. Not everybody should do that. That's not how real change gets made. It's us little people who care about our city and our safety that really change the way this city is going to come about, or really create the change that this city needs. So tell me, anything that you need to get off your chest about your partner, former partner who is a member of the Court of Dis. Anything you'd like to tell me, anything that would make you feel more secure.
Oh, we just lost someone. I need to know that I can trust you before I divulge anything, because I fear for my life at this point. I know too much. I saw too much.
Of course.
So go ahead and choose a skill.
What can I do to make you trust?
Off your identity card, or off your identity. You're a social worker. So you should have a whole bunch of skills with different numbers next to them. So choose the one that you want to use in this situation to kind of convince them.
Okay. Well, as a result of closing my computer, I don't have that open right now.
Okay.
Is there any chance you can out the potential lists? I'm so sorry.
Let me see here. Social worker. I have it here in front of me. Size someone up at 90%. Read the situation 80%. Watch for trouble 80%. Surveil someone 65%. Treat an injury 65%. Anything else is at 50%.
Okay. I want to ascertain this person's situation to get
Okay.
better understand this person and where they're coming from. So it's going to be rolled 1d100.
Yeah, roll me a d100.
Okay, I got a 59.
59. That's a
quite
success.
good.
A success.
That's perfect.
So he thinks about it. He kind of runs his hands through his hair. He looks around. You hear sirens going off. You hear a gunshot in the distance. He goes, "Okay, yeah. I can trust you. I'll tell you what. You come back to me in another day or two. Your next meeting. Afterwards, let's go and get some coffee, and we can talk."
Yeah, absolutely. But make sure that you're safe.
Yeah, we'll do.
I list off like a couple recommendations, like don't go outside after dark, don't go into lone alleys, don't go into non-public places where you think you might get jumped, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I give him a list of like things that'll probably keep you alive at least till the next time we talk.
He holds out his hand.
I ask him for his cell phone number.
Yeah, he holds out his hand. For you to shake hands. He thanks you. He gives you a cell phone number. He says, "The name's Terry Roger, but my friends call me Spuds."
Spuds. Pleasure to meet you. My name's Tabitha, but you can call me Tabby. And here, and I give him a call, make sure that he's got my number.
Yeah.
I put my contact information in, and I say, if ever you're in danger, give me a call. I have friends who can help you.
He nods. He looks at you and walks away kind of reluctantly. As he's walking away, he looks over his shoulder again, and you see him look down at his phone, like almost like he's hoping you call. And we'll zoom out of your interlude. So you passed your interlude for yours. Let's jump over to Grendel. Grendel, what are we doing for yours?
So I think Grendel would be first and foremost concerned with his aspiration, which is, now he grew up in foster care. He had a very loving foster family, but he never knew his real parents. And that was never a problem until after his powers manifested. So once he got out of prison, particularly after the old British occultist told him that his powers might be a danger, he's ever since then decided that he needed to track down his actual birth parents and see who they are and if that in any way connects with who he has become.
All right. So what's our situation? What are we zooming in on?
So I think he's discovered where he was born, what hospital he was born at in New Eden, and he wants to break into the records rooms. I mean, these would be old hard copy records at this point, probably, and see if he can find his actual birth records and see if it lists his birth parents' names on them.
Okay. Let's do it. What skill are you using?
So he'd be approaching the hospital with a completely different face from his normal face of Elvis LaCroix or Grendel, looking just like an average human. And he's going to just walk into the hospital like a normal person, but he's going to sneak around to try to acquire a doctor's set of scrubs and a jacket so he can move more discreetly through the hospital.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna give you maybe a challenge down in this one. This is gonna be a bit of a tricky situation.
I like it.
That's your.
I'm gonna spend a hero point.
Okay.
To use my my special hero ability to give me a +20 to my roll without taking an additional challenge die. So I'll just have the one you gave me.
Okay.
So my sneak around is 80% normally, so it's 100% right now.
It's 100%. You don't even
He's
need
very
to roll.
sneaky. Well, who knows?
Go ahead and roll. All right. So you able to find a staff room, and you kind of listen in. You get some information. The door is just kind of closing. You reach in and you grab a pass key to the changing room, where the doctors and the workers would go to change when they get in there, and you're able to acquire the uniform that you're looking for.
So he gets changed and once again changes his face again slightly. So he's still nondescript, but doesn't quite look like the same person who walked into this because he knows that there's cameras in the halls in the hospital. So he wants to obscure anybody's ability to track who and what he is as much as possible.
Sure.
And then he will just move purposely towards the records room because now he looks like he's supposed to be here. And once he gets to the records room door, he will use his transformation powers to slide his arm subtly under the crack under the door and up the back side, Sandman style, to unlock the door.
All right. Very good. Go ahead. What are we going to be rolling for that? Are we rolling, or that's just your power, isn't it? That's
just my power.
manifests. Okay.
80%. Yep.
Very good. All right. So.
Oh my God! I got a 98.
Wow. So down, around, up.
Can't quite get it.
And you just can't. All of a sudden, someone bursts in the room. A hospital security goes, "What are you doing in here?" Yes, this area's off limits, Doctor. You know you need requisitions to get in here to get to the records.
Oh.
Do you have the?
I'm new to this hospital. Can you escort me to where the requisitions are?
That's open.
I thought it was
regular office hours, and
but where is it at? I thought the requisitions was in a lobby in here.
No, you need to go to the front desk, talk to the nurse, and she'll do the paperwork for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And what was your name again? I want to make sure that I commend you to your.
My name is Stan.
Boss. Stan, thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it. So he'll move up to the front desk and he will approach the nurse there and he'll be like, I need the paperwork to fill out a records request.
We're gonna say what where you got busted on this one, and we'll cut this interlude, and we'll do another one next week. You can get you got one more piece of the puzzle when you come back here, so we'll cut back from the interlude. Kind of got busted. It's outside of hours. They're gonna give you the forms, and you got to go fill them out and come back. We'll see here. All right, Nightlight, what are you doing?
I guess I'll do Turmoil since everyone did Aspiration. So I was imagining Nightlight's Turmoil is the Court of Dis is like either interested, intrigued, some sort of variation of that of him due to the fact that his truffle lord reputation is getting amongst the city and he's become himself just independently wealthy by doing this kind of by himself by cultivating it naturally.
Okay.
So I imagine he's garnered some attention via that, and it's making him like nervous because he doesn't want, obviously he probably has some sort of idea that they're, criminals and bad. So I think he's been like either kind of being followed or he's noticed that like he's been getting more, like seeing more people more frequently, that type of thing. And he's scared to go to his greenhouse and like, fix his truffles.
Greenhouse. Okay. I love it. So what are we zooming in on?
I guess maybe but as he's like, I'm assuming he would keep his greenhouse like somewhere kind of discreet where it's not like super obvious. So I imagine like maybe when he's walking there, he kind of like runs into a couple quarter disc people.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's zoom in on that. Would they recognize you? Would they know who you are?
I don't know. Do they, Matt?
I don't know. What are you rolling? They look at you. I'm gonna say, well, you're quite well known, aren't you?
I'm Insta famous, yeah.
You are Insta famous. I'm gonna say there's been articles in the newspapers about you coming to town because you are a foreign exchange, I don't know, business mogul, even though you're 9. So they recognize.
I'm 12.
They recognize you. And they go, "Hey, it's Mushroom Boy."
What? What do you mean, Mushroom Boy?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm Nightlight.
Yeah, Nightlight. Hey, listen. We think our boss would like to talk to you. I have a business proposition for you. Why don't you come with us?
No, I'm like, I'm already partnered up. Sorry, I'm very loyal to him.
To who you partnered with?
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's a what do they call it? Like a silent partner.
All right, what are you doing to get out of this situation?
I'm gonna roll convince someone.
All right, go ahead and roll me a convince.
Success.
All right. They're standing there and they're trying to like talk you into it, and it looks like they break out start cracking their knuckles, and then it kind of dawns on them, like, oh shit, this is a kid. Hey, we'll get you again. We'll get you next time, kid.
Yeah, I'm just a kid. You wouldn't want to beat me up.
Yeah, so they kind of, their senses come to them and they leave you alone. Yay! All right. So we did that. Everybody who progressed their turmoil or their aspiration gets a point of experience for that, or a story progress track. But everybody, regardless, gets a continuity token. So continuity tokens have 2 purposes in the game. Continuity tokens can be used to introduce back issues, and this is where you can like reference something that you've done or encountered in the past that could be relevant to this scenario or this adventure. You could be like, hey, in issue number 13 of Tales of New Eden, or the underbelly of New Eden, I encountered this before, so I'm familiar with it. So you could do that, and you can give you a little leg up with the situation. Some examples for back issues or flashbacks are describe a prior conflict with a villain, allowing your character to know some basic information about them. Describe a prior meeting with a narrator-controlled character, allowing your character to have basic knowledge of that person. Establish a prior relationship with a narrator-controlled character, giving you an edge with an interaction with them. Or something has happened in the past that gives you an edge with this character. The other thing you can do is retcons, which is another thing in comics where all of a sudden, boom, they wipe out the past. It never happened, and things are different. So you can spend your continuity token to do a retcon, and you establish a new fact about the setting, an element, character, villain, team, or enemy group that becomes true forever. Like, that's now a fact about them. So you can spend your continuity token for that. You go back, you retcon it, and you're like, no, I know that so-and-so actually does this. So that it's, their routine that they do this every Thursday or something. But you can now do retcons and back issues.
So I can retcon that I'm a villain?
Yes. Yes, you can. Yeah, retcons are
Yes.
Beowulf, like, the way this is designed, it is like you are playing a comic book. It is so well designed, this game. They have thought of everything. All right, so we've done that. It took a little bit longer than anticipated, but that's okay. It was our first one. We got through it. Tonight's episode is to catch a killer. So let's get into that. I'm going to start with you, Meat Man. You're driving. You're pissed. You just dealt with those frat boys. They got your picture. You did not get to serve meat to the court of Dis
What the hell is
underlings.
Instagram? I don't understand this stuff.
So you break off to Paradise, and we know that in Paradise that this is kind of like the training ground for underlings to eventually become members of Court Dis. So you're over there and you're looking for any member of the Court Dis that you can, and you're just gonna kill them on
Fresh
sight.
meat.
Yes, exactly. As you're doing so, you all of a sudden you smell smoke, you smell fire, and you look down the block. There is a building erupting in flames. It's 3 stories high. It's an old tenement building. There are people screaming. The police and the fire department aren't on the scene yet. But you can see that the building is in critical condition. It looks like it could fall over. People are screaming for help. And the flames are overtaking and they're jumping to the adjacent buildings.
That's a shame.
I know.
So anyway, about that fresh meat.
Well,
Just kidding,
and you see, and up on the top floor, you see a court of dismember in trouble.
Oh, okay. Well, now we're talking.
In
All right.
trouble.
Okay. I'll get on the phone. I'll flip the phone out because that's what I have, an old flip phone. I'll hit the speed dial for Alley Cat. And I'll say, hey, do-gooder. I know you like doing good and such. There's a fire. There's people dying and burning. And I might want to pedal
Fire
that bike
in
on
our
over
city.
there.
I'm on my way. I plop my phone into the phone holster on my bike,
Yep.
and the Beastmobile is on its way.
Yeah, as soon as you step outside, you can smell the smoke, and you can see big, black, billowing smoke clouds nearby. So it's not hard to find either.
Where's it heading? Or where's it from? Is it on our street?
It's in Paradise. It's in your neighborhood. It's in the bad neighborhood.
Oh shit. Oh no, not my neighborhood.
This
Looking
is
for
your
magic
turf. This is
block.
what you're looking to keep clean.
I want to point out, by the way, that the reason Meatman didn't call Nightlight is because Nightlight's already there. He's in the van. Come on. Like,
Oh,
of
is
course
he?
you're there. You're riding shotgun.
Matt didn't say it was in the van.
I didn't know. Are you in the van?
He is now.
Okay. Redcon. No.
Rickon!
In my continuity token.
Oh, I'm here. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll start trying
mean-
to go put out the fire. I mean, I can do fire manipulation or cold, so I can either try and
Oh.
like extinguish the fire with that, or I can create, a bunch of water or ice.
Yeah. So yeah, you pull up on the scene. Alley Cat's on her way. You see smoldering timbers, jagged support beams. Like the building is starting to give. Support beams are poking through. There's melted wrought iron railings running up the side of this building.
Can I try and be like super extreme and like try and freeze the whole building?
That's
But only try not to target people. I'm trying to just like freeze the fire.
My god. Oh my god. You can try. You're gonna get a lot of challenge dice. How about that? I think the maximum you can have is 4. I'm gonna give you 4 in this situation.
Okay, so what if I use my ability that gives me 2 advantage dice? So they cancel, or do I roll them both?
No, you'd have to roll them both, and they can cancel each other out, but they could also come up with
Okay.
blank faces in that situation. This is really tough. It's a whole building, and you're just a kid.
I'm
So we-
Nightlight. I'm not just a kid.
So, okay, so we have one more member we need to get a hold of.
Yeah, while that's happening, I think the Beastmobile is my bike. I'm like texting while I'm riding, which is of course super unsafe, but I'm lucky. So, I get away with it usually. And I've got Grendel on speed dial because of course Grendel's my go-to homie. And I'm like, hey, ring, ring, ring. Sorry.
Yeah, Cat?
Hey, step outside. There's a huge fire in our town.
I'm on my way. Grendel obviously had a very bad night the night before, but he's going to try and shake it off. So he steps outside. Does he see where the fire's at?
Oh yeah, you see big billowing smoke clouds, black smoke in the distance. Police and fire department still aren't on the scene. You can hear the fire alarm or the bells going off inside the building, but nobody has shown up yet from the authorities.
He pulls his hood on,
Fuck?
and instantaneously transforms, and then leaps into the air to glide towards the building.
All right, very good. So you're on your way there. So we're gonna start with Barnacle Boy trying to freeze everything.
Yeah, boy. All right. So I'll roll my challenge dice first.
So,
right, 4 of those.
yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Ooh.
And then I get 2 advantage dice for
Oh,
my
that's not
young
good.
hero. So I have
Cancel
2
one of those.
challenge dice.
So you got 2 Banes that are going to continue through.
But that has nothing to do with my roll. It's like
No,
after
so
my
make your roll now.
Okay. It is successful.
All right, so you start freezing the building from the ground floor up. You're just kind of caking the whole building. You're going to the support beams, trying to keep it in check. But like I said, the flames are jumping over to the adjacent buildings, and this fire is spreading as you're slowly freezing the fire from the ground up. We have a couple of complications on the scene, and this is going to introduce a new mechanic as well. So we have 2 critical complications, and they tick down no matter what, whether you stop them or not. And if you don't stop them, they actually have lasting repercussions. They can affect your reputation with the people of the city, the government, with the authorities, and things like that. So we have one where the flames are spreading to adjacent buildings. That is one of the ones that is currently taking place. And we also have one that there are people trapped in the burning building. While you are slowly putting this fire out, there are people trapped on the upper floors who are burning alive up there, possibly. So we have complications going on. Just because you're putting out the fire, it's not fixing the situation instantly.
Oh wow.
Who's
Can I
typing?
use
Someone's
my
typing it.
luck ability to get there faster?
I'm gonna say you're gonna show up on the scene. Who's typing? It's coming through really loud. Sorry.
No, sorry, I was clicking some buttons.
Okay.
Trying to
Oh
get
god, I was
the,
like, what is that banging?
I will mute myself.
I'm
when I
gonna
click.
say you're all show up at the same time. You show up, you're there. Grendel shows up, and you're all just kind of like standing there in front of the building, or maybe you're on a rooftop, and Nightlight is slowly freezing this thing, but you can see that it's not enough. Grendel? How are you arriving?
So I glide down onto the roof of the burning building.
Yeah.
And then I will punch through the roof down into the top floor.
Okay.
And start collecting the citizens. I'm screaming out, come out to the hallways with me. I'll protect you. I can get you out of the building.
As you punch the roof and you kind of go down there and you're shouting down, you see a figure. They're wearing a cape. They've got a mask on. You see the back of their head, and they're hunched over a body, a dead body. There's blood everywhere. This person,
Man,
Tell me more.
this person is hunched over them. They have blood on their hands, and they turn and look at you, up at you, and they've got like a full face mask, but their nose down. It's like a skull, and they have goggles over their eyes. Here, I'll share an image with all of you. What you see.
whoa! Why can't I look
Nice.
cool?
So
That's pretty sweet.
he looks back at you, just these goggled eyes, and you see him reach for twin 45s and pull them out. And he's got this glowing gauntlet on his arm, on his forearm, and he says, "I will stop you."
Oh, he sounds like a
No,
douche
hold
for
on.
being so
Hold
cool.
on. I will stop you. Do not interfere.
Do not interfere with what? Saving the people? Stopping the fire?
I was here first. Step away.
To save the people and stop the fire, or are you causing it?
No, I'm investigating.
Well, help these people, for God's sake. If you're a hero, be a hero. That's what our job is.
He looks around. And he hunches back over the body, and it looks like he's like looking at this apartment that the body's in. It looks like he's kind of like taking note of everything in there.
So Grendel gives a cursory look at what this guy's doing and then stomps by him. He feels like Grendel's got to save these people before he worries about anything else.
Okay.
He's like, stay there, stay sitting, stay doing whatever you're doing, but they're real people who are still alive looking out for your help. Be a hero. And he stomps past, starts yelling out for people to come into the hallway so he can get them out of the building.
Okay, sounds good. Do you want to go ahead and roll a power, and we'll put it towards one of these complications?
Yeah,
To help-
so
to
he'll
help
use
people?
He'll use his super strength to knock the doors in and the walls in as he's going along, and so he can gather everybody together.
Okay.
And then the building collapses.
And then the
It's
building
possible.
collapses.
And he's transforming his arms as he's doing it, pushing almost in like shovels with his super strength to push everything out of the way so people can come in and then smother the fire with these giant like paddled hands.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll your power. I'll give you a bonus die for that, an advantage die. The way you're kind of like paddle, you're kind of trying to scoop people up and keep them safe from the flames. All right, so you got a boon.
Dig it.
And
I succeed.
And a success. So that's going to reduce the complication, we're going to say, by 2. You're getting people out. You're getting people out of the top floor. The building is collapsing around you. Like, this thing is old. It's ancient. Like everything else in Paradise, it's run down. It's just not enough what Nightlight's doing out there. So we're going to click that down 2 notches. Let's jump over to Meatman. Meatman, what do you want to do?
So can we, if we're looking at the way that this building is collapsing, and how big did you say it was again?
It's three stories.
Okay. Can we say that it's sort of like kind of tilting in one particular direction as opposed to just sort of collapsing inward? If that's the case, I want to get on the opposite side the way it's tilting, and I want to use my combat vehicle to fire my hooks into it and see if I can use the incredibly powerful engine of deep cuts to just try to keep the building stable just a little bit longer while my
what's under the hood?
I don't know.
I don't
what to call them, friends. Try to get stuff out. I mean, definitely not
allies.
He's the best, but yeah, the rest.
Partners.
Okay, yeah, because this is one of your powers that you're.
This is one of my powers.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do it. I like it. Go ahead and take 2 advantage dice for that.
Okay. All right. So
I like that. That's cool.
So
That's
an
interesting way to use your powers. They're meat hooks, right?
They're meat hooks. So I just like fire. Yeah, as I'm hooking underneath, and I'm just trying to like keep it stable. I know it's not going to be there forever, but
yeah. So remember, we can do teamwork maneuvers as well. We're not really in initiative here, but this is an action scene that we're in.
Okay, that's a success and one advantage.
Okay, very good. I am also going to tick this down by 2, the building's integrity.
I'll be screaming into the flip phone. I don't even know if I have anyone on the line. Whatever you're going to do, you better do it fast. This baby's going to go.
So there's jagged support beams. They're starting to poke through the brick. Brick is raining down on the street around you. Meatman is driving, pulling this thing, counterbalancing it. Alley Cat, what are you gonna do?
Hey, sorry, I had to refresh real quick. I wasn't hearing anybody. Okay, so I am going to honestly, I'm gonna try something stupid, and it might work, but I'm gonna try and parkour my bike like up in a building or like up a garage.
We're losing you, Pat. I heard parkour your bike
to the second story of the building and do basically what the story. Shit. You can't hear me.
It's like every third word we're getting. I heard parkour your bike onto the second floor. Is that what you're trying to do?
I think she's gone.
All right, we'll jump back then. Back to Grendel. We started with you. Come back to me. I just see you spammed in chat. All right. We'll jump back to Grendel until Alley Cat's back. So Grendel, back to you. Top of the turn order.
So I lead the people from the third floor down the stairwell towards the second floor, and I'm basically pushing my hands and making giant shields pushing forward. So that if there's any fire or any debris, I'm pushing it ahead of me to give them a clear path behind me. And then I'll try to push it up against a wall or smother it with, prevent it from getting any oxygen.
Mhm.
And then turn down to the second floor and start going through. And then as I'm walking, I'll keep one hand pushed in front of me, knocking indoors and calling for people. And the other hand, I'll make just basically a giant platform and use my super strength to keep the ceiling above us intact while the people walk behind me.
Very cool. That's neat. All right, go ahead and make your roll. I'm going to give you 2 advantage for that. Very heroic.
Wants to be the hero.
All right. We've got a boon. Oh, on a 25,
Nice.
you ace it. So this is getting people out of the trap building. I'm going to say as you're going down floor to floor, you're calling for people, you're stretching your hands down the hallways. You've managed to get everyone out of here. You're evacuating this building single-handedly, and you have stopped this complication with between all your successes and everything. So you're getting everyone out.
He turns to everybody. He's like, just thank the Covenant. We're here for paradise. We're the heroes. Isn't that right, Meat Man?
Like and subscribe. She's gonna go.
All right, Nightlight, let's hop back over to you. You were freezing the building. I'm going to say you're still kind of doing that. You're in the process of doing it because you had those banes that came up. It wasn't like an instantaneous success. The flames are spilling over to the other buildings. Nobody's doing anything about that. So while you are putting this out, and you do see Grendel is getting folks out of there, the adjacent buildings are starting to catch fire.
Can I just use fire manipulation and just extinguish them?
Oh yeah, with your other hand.
Yeah.
One hand shooting ice. One
One hand ice,
for
one
it,
hand
go for
fire.
I'll give you an advantage dice for that.
All right,
Can I teamwork maneuver for him to help
Yes.
him out? Since he's taking one hand away from his ice and stuff, can I? I'm sure there's probably fire hydrants. Down the
yeah.
street.
Yeah.
And I'll be chucking various cleavers to like just cut the front off and just to add a little extra water into wherever like he's on the building that he's currently focusing on, so that he can use his other hand.
Yeah, and then I'm
Focus.
just like I'm just flipping my hair as a model in the.
Oh my goodness. All right. Go ahead, make your roll. Give
Does
yourself
the teamwork
an advantage.
maneuver give anything, or are you just
yes.
narrating?
It gives
No,
you
you get a
two more
advantage
advantage.
dice.
You're rolling 3
Okay.
advantage total here.
2 extra ones. Okay. Oh my god!
Nice.
Wow. Okay. Make
And
your
I
roll.
succeed.
Wow. Okay. So you, between the two of you, you're able to snuff out the flames on both adjacent buildings before they start to spread. Wow. That's a lot of successes.
I point
and
at the
boons.
the nearby crowd. I'm Nightlight.
Yikes. All right. So we've got the people out of there. The only other thing is the building's integrity is coming down. Well, Alley Cat, let's jump over to you. Alley Cat, you're back.
I
Nope.
don't know if she is.
Oh.
I think she's just frozen.
I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
she's frozen. Yeah.
All right. Meat Man, over to you.
Okay, so she can't hear anyone. She's in chat still. Looks like she was messaging in Zoom
In
chat.
Discord? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
I could do a teamwork procedure with Meat Man.
Yes.
So Grendel, after he gets everybody out, could extend his arms like great steel girders and use his super strength and these extended arms to provide some foundation support to the building, while Meat Man does his maneuver.
Okay. I was thinking if you take over kind of holding it, like I have chains galore. And so I was thinking of like trying to find like another sturdy building and to anchor this like the hooks to, so that
Sure.
now it's like actually connected, and so drive around another building as fast as I can, just kick it into overdrive and just try to have like little chains connecting these two buildings while
Just
Grendel's
like
keeping it from falling
shooting
over.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's like Spider-Man, except instead of coming out of my wrist, it's coming out of my meat.
And they're like dirty, rusty chains.
And they're dirty, rusty, bloody, and all sorts of
Like
things.
brown with old blood stained on them. Gross.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Fact.
they're sturdy.
Go ahead and I'll give you two advantage dice for that on top of the
Whoa,
teamwork.
so
You're gonna get a
generous.
chance to
Okay.
take the spotlight here.
Oh boy.
Do it.
Okay.
Hell
Do
yeah.
it, Jeff. Take the spotlight.
Oh, so much pressure.
Oh, okay.
Too much pressure.
So to take the
Me Man
spotlight-
doesn't want the
Oof.
spotlight.
You have to roll 4 boons, and you get to take the spotlight, and it's just like all about you, and you get all sorts of bonuses.
Is
And
there
as
any chance?
Success, by the way, with a 7 on the roll,
Oh, nice.
on the skill roll for combat. I assumed you wanted combat vehicles since it's what I'm using.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Pat.
Yeah. Okay. Now that I can hear you and you can hear me, crazy. Sorry, my internet's shit tonight. Is there any chance while this is happening, I could bump my bike off of like a dumpster in the back and actually like try and assist these chains getting into a sturdy a position that'll make this building sturdy?
Grendel already stepped in to help.
Okay, never mind.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Part of the thing that I didn't hear.
Internet connection
Sorry.
issues. It's all right. So the chains shoot out and just, and I'm gonna say your battle wagon or whatever it is just kind of like spinning out on the spot. But these chains are holding it together. You're pulling this thing back, and you are able to avoid the building collapsing on anyone or in any danger. Basically, you're able to release the chains when it's just gonna just give and drop straight down. But right now, the integrity is holding. With that, you have cleared this obstacle. You've cleared the beginning situation. You look up on one of the balconies, and that figure is up there, the caped figure. He's up on one of the balconies. He's looking down at all of you, and he just kind of like climbs down the fire escape as it's kind of breaking away from the building, hops down and lands next to you, Grendel. He's like, where do we leave off? What are you doing here? You chased away the murderer.
So Grendel's hand just gets huge, and he puts a giant index finger in this guy's face, and he says, listen, we're heroes. That means our first job is to save civilians, not investigate crimes. So you did your gig, we did our gigs. You be the super sleuth that you want to be, whoever the hell you are, and we'll be the heroes. That's where we left off. Now, if you need some help, like I said, we're the heroes. We're the Covenant. We'll give you a hand. Isn't that right, guys? Isn't that right, Meat Man? Nightlight, Alley Cat.
Mike,
Quickly
I just
covering his face.
Yes, hi. Bike was
With that,
slow
sirens
tonight.
are blaring, and police cars and fire engines are now showing up on the scene as this is taking place. He stands there and he's, I'm on the trail of a serial killer. This was their 3rd victim, and I think you scared them away. I was about to get the jump on them.
Don't you think the fire did that?
No, I had them trapped in there.
With the did you light the fire?
No, I'm a hero like you.
Well, we didn't start it.
That's
It's
certainly
been burning
one way
since
to
the
show
world's
that.
been turning.
All
God, I was
I got
hoping
him.
this would.
All right, hero. What's your name?
The Wraith.
All right, Wraith. Well, if I scared him off, I am an ugly son of a bitch, so that makes sense. But I'm still willing to help you track him down. If he's a serial killer and he's in paradise, then we got to take care of it. Because like I said, we're heroes and we're the Covenant.
Kind of rubs his chin over. He's got his masked face, rubs his chin, and you can tell he's thinking. He looks at the 4 of you, kind of sizes you all up. Yeah.
Grendel rubs his chin and it gets much bigger, and giant square jaw and giant smile pops up, and he's like, we're here.
Well,
My
Making
character,
it-
instead of rubbing her chin, face palms.
Yeah, Nightlight's making it snow from the fire hydrant water.
Meat Man has a sack over his head that's covered in blood, so
he goes,
we all do our thing.
I feel like the murderer's gonna strike again tonight, so yeah, maybe we can team up.
Just slide in my DMs.
What? He sounds
Man
quite
also
old
doesn't
underneath his
understand
mask.
either.
He sounds like
seriously,
an
what are
old
you talking
man.
about?
Oh, never mind.
Listen, we need to see if there's any evidence up there now that you've stopped that fire before the police get in there and ruin everything.
What's this serial killer signature? They all got a signature. How they kill people, how they store people, that kind of thing. I know a thing or
Is
two
it arson?
about serial killing.
Do you know? Are you a profiler?
You could say that.
The
He's a
hands
meat-
do not leave the face.
A meat profiler.
Shakes his head. All right. Yeah, this thing seems to just kill with blind fury or lust or something. It rips its victims apart, almost consumes it and eats them.
I know a thing about that too.
What?
Grindle looks
I was being serious.
I wish I had more hands.
He just kind of grunts.
I feel like I never learned about this part of you.
You're still a little young. But tell you what, you tell me about Insta. I'll tell you about that.
Oh.
I have some horrible life choices that I've made.
At this point, the cops are on the scene. They're like throwing up tape. The firefighters are assessing the fire that you've stopped. It's put out at this point. They're not having to put anything out. And the cops are they're looking at you funny. You know you have a bad relationship with the police in this town. Most of the police are on the take also, right?
So I turn to the Wraith and I say, Wraith, why don't you and Alley Cat and Meat Man go up there and investigate? And Nightlight and I'll convince the police and the firemen to give you some time.
What the hell kind of name is Meat Man?
It's my name. The hell kind of name is Wraith.
Checks.
I haven't seen
Oh,
you do
Wraith
anything that
does
looks
sound
like a
kinda
Wraith
cool.
yet. Now I'm mad.
You're all worked up. All right. All right. Yeah. Let's go check out the crime scene.
I just like agilely pirouette up, or whatever it's called, somersault up.
Okay. Patrolman's like, hey, what are you doing? You can't go in there. You can't go. We need to investigate the scene.
Grindle walks over. Officer, so good to see you in paradise. It must have been a long drive from wherever you and the fire department were coming from, but we were here to help you.
Oh, throws shade.
Nice.
We got here as fast as we could. All right. What are you doing here? How do we know you didn't start it?
I'm a hurt child. Can someone help me?
Aren't you wearing your costume?
I am.
Oh,
Well,
I
officer,
was injured.
he might have been injured, actually, officer, but you could talk to that every single human being who lived in that building who I rescued as to what our purpose here was. They're all lined up over there as witnesses. I think they're going to be looked at by the paramedics.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about we discuss this back at the precinct, okay?
it's fantastic. I'll be happy to meet you there. I think it'll probably be tomorrow, but I've got some things to do.
He starts reaching for his cuffs, and as he does so, you see another man walk up. He's wearing plain clothes. He's wearing like a button-up shirt, like a dress shirt. He's got jeans on, and you see there's a badge on his belt. And he comes over and he puts his arm on the patrolman that's talking to you, and kind of stops him for reaching for the cuffs. He goes, "I'll take it easy, all right? I'll talk to them, okay?" All right. And the patrolman kind of curses under his breath and goes, "Come on, let's go talk over here." He kind of waves you over to the alley.
I follow him.
It looks like he's in his mid-30s. He's got kind of short brown hair. It's slicked back. And he holds out his hand. Or actually he gives you his card. He goes, Detective Wilson.
I'm
That's what I
Nightlight.
mean. Grendel's like 7 feet tall and his hands are huge. So this business card is like, he's like Detective Wilson.
Why does no one ever respond to me when I say where I am?
What's with the kid? Never mind. I've seen you guys. I know what you're all about. I saw what you did last time. Your last outing, all right? He reaches into his shirt and he pulls out a flask and he takes a big swig and seals it up and puts it away.
Is that legal
Huh?
to do on the job?
Are you legal, kid, to be doing this?
What is there an age limit?
There may actually be some child labor laws that we need to talk about.
Oh, no one told me.
He goes,
But that's
listen,
we'll talk with Meatman later.
listen, I was impressed with what you guys did back there at the bank and the capture of that last, he puts up air quotes, super villain. And I know you're out there to turn things around in this city. You know, it's all over the news. That's all we're hearing about. Everybody on the police is on the take. And it's rotten, man. It's rotten to the core. And I need people like you to help me take down the Court of Dis.
You know, Meatman really has a big problem with them, so I'm sure he would really be game to do this.
Detective, that's what we're all about. We're the heroes, and we'll help you take down the Court of Dis. We want paradise to be free. And New Eden.
Well, I want to be able to help you. I can give you intel, I can give you tips, I can keep you one step ahead of the police. I know where they're going. Let's take them down. Let's work together. I'll be your inside man.
Thank you, Detective. We need all the help we can get. We need a few honest men and women on our side. And Grindel holds out his giant hand, and then he shrinks it down to a normal size hand so he can shake his hand like a normal human being.
Yeah,
I put my hand out.
he shakes it. He shakes your hand. He goes, "Speaking of meat, man, we got a file on that guy. Like you wouldn't believe. It's huge. He's one of yours?"
He is absolutely terrifying, but yes, he is one of ours.
Yeah, he's totally normal. I don't understand what you're talking about.
He scares me. I have nightmares about him. And look at my face, but I have nightmares about me, man.
He just seems like an average Joe to me.
I don't know who Nightlight's been hanging out with as a small child, but
It was all right.
that also terrifies me.
Here's my cell. He hands out a card to both of you. Here's my cell. Call me when you need help. Like I said, I'll be your guy on the inside.
Thank you, Detective Wilson. We appreciate it.
All right, let's cut up to the three of you going up there? Two of you plus the wraith.
Yeah.
So you're up on the third floor. You get to a burned out apartment building. There is a body on the ground. There is a giant pool of blood underneath them.
Let's call him my name. And see if I can take an assessment of how this thing might have gone from being living to being meat.
Living to go to meat. All right. So it's a man.
Good God.
It's a male. You can see here. What are you gonna do to assess the situation? What
Now,
skills?
I feel like I could make an argument that prepare food might be applicable here.
What?
I hate it. But I mean,
But-
honestly, considering the food you make.
I was thinking read the situation.
Read the
If that's
situation.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you some challenge dice here because the whole building's burned out, so it's gonna be hard to find some evidence. So take 2 challenge dice, please.
All right.
I'd
2
like to
challenge
analyze the meat.
Listen, it's in my name.
I like how those frat boys got one up on you.
I got their credit card and I know where they live. Dang. That's
Meat
a
Man
success.
taken down for credit fraud.
Oh god, that would be hilarious. That's a pass, but I also rolled 2 pips of the challenge die.
So you take a look at the situation in the apartment. Like, any evidence is gone. Like, there's no trail, there's no footprints, there's no nothing. But looking at the body, it looks like this man was like ripped apart from with cleavers or claws or something sharp, and it's just been pulled apart. And it almost looks like there's bite marks or something on him, like he was being eaten. But no trail whatsoever. You cannot pick up any sort of clues of where this murderer went, how they came in. The only other information that you can determine from here is you find this man's ID. His name was Archie Morton. He was wearing a security guard uniform.
Does it say what company or where he worked security?
Yes, he worked for Paladin Security.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So I'll
Oh,
relay
what's the
that.
411?
Yeah.
What's the 411 on our pulled long pork
Looks
here?
like this guy, this poor son of a gun. Someone ripped into him with sharp teeth. Not very elegant cuts. This here, and I'll just like, I got my knife out, and I'm like, this here, that's a wound. There, that's another wound. Here's the kill shot right here. And then that right down there is where they started gnawing at it. You see, you can kind of tell by little flecks of bone that are kind of mixing in with the tissue there. But anyway, he works security for Paladin. You know anything about them?
Would I know anything about them?
I don't know. Would you? Hey, this is where you can do a back issue or retcon if you wanted to.
Ooh. I think I'm saving my recon for something else, but
Okay. You got one per
think,
session.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Oh, I got one continuity point per session, or one back. Oh.
So if we don't use it, we lose it?
Use it or lose it.
Oh, fine. Yeah,
Like,
sure. All right. I've done some work, and depending on what sort of organization Paladin Security is, maybe I've done some work with one of their members or investigating their nefarious activities.
Okay.
I mean, of course, nefarious activities could mean like legitimate law person duties, because my character's like an insane anarchist. But anyway.
So, all right. So you're spending continuity in a back issue of Alley Cat. You've had a run-in with Paladin Security before. That's what we're saying.
That sounds likely, yeah.
Okay, and what and so were the people working for Paladin, like, what was it? What was it? What was Alley Cat's interaction with them?
So all right, let me just ask you a question. Is Paladin Security like your standard run-of-the-mill, like you are hired to watch the lobby of a big impressive building sort of thing? Or
yes,
are they
they're rent-a-cops. Yeah. They're just like,
rent-a-cops. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. They have no
right,
real
yeah.
power or authority whatsoever. You know, they're anything from like event security to, sitting in a lobby of a big important building, or, the price of lumber these days, sitting at a construction site, making sure people don't steal $1 million worth of lumber. Like they're just rent-a-cops. They're not. They don't have any real authority.
Ooh, I know exactly how Alley Cat's interacted with them before. All right, so she was trying to sneak up on a. They were hired by a casino, one of the newer casinos in town. They didn't have an established bouncer force yet, so they went to Paladin Security for their bouncers, and I needed a way into this casino to find the head of a small gang of agents of Dis who were messing up my neighborhood in some way, shape, or form. I, bashed one over the head from behind and took her uniform and snuck in her stead. And of course, in the process, interacted with quite a few Paladin Security officers as I pretended I was one of them, while muttering under my breath how much they stank of pig. And, because of course I would. And on the other side of that, they caught me in the act after the fact, and they actually engaged in perhaps the most judicious and righteous form of mall cop duty possible, and they actually bounced me from the place. Not knowing, of course, that I had like broken in, knocked out their person in the casino and gotten all the information I needed. And then they kicked me out.
So, okay, so this all took place in an issue of what, Alley Cat?
Mm-hmm.
What issue number?
Oh, yeah.
What issue this happened in? This is now fact. This is your...
Issue 29 of Alley Cat.
All right.
The plot thickens.
All right. So you learned that they do have ties to the Court of Dis. You know, though, that their owner is in their pocket. So there is a possibility that this man may have been on the take, may be working for them, may have been working a job for them. So that is an angle to go after.
Okay. So I know that their owner's on the take.
I'll say you made... So because you spent a continuity token and you this happened in a back issue, you made a contact. Let's say you made a contact in Paladin Security that you can call on and possibly get information. This is where the back issue is now paying off. So maybe an inside man or woman who is tired of the corruption.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I
Okay,
mean, you
there we
know,
go.
I
Back issue.
probably honestly I had to have a collaborator in this
Yeah.
in this act, otherwise I'd have gotten kicked out earlier.
I love how you're like
You
racking
know,
up like
a,
informants and NPCs. Like I write all these down as truths on your character sheet. Like I'm writing them all down, and these are all people I could pull on in like later issues. It's very cool.
I started taking notes.
That's what this game's all about. All right, so who is this? Who's this person? Who's this? And you can call them. You can give them a call on the cell phone. Or you can go meet them. What do you want to do? And you want to try and get some information about this Archie Morton?
Yeah, all right. So my contact's name is Jade. Jade Zhu. And
How do I spell
she's a all right, Jade space ZHU.
Oh, okay, very good. I was
Jade
thinking like au
Zhu.
jus sauce. That's Meat Man's territory.
And she's a kind of like, all right, so she's like super butch and buff and awesome and cool and powerful and stuff.
Yep.
But she's honestly like a total sweetheart. Think Scorpia from She-Ra, and you've got Jade Zhu in a you know, to a T.
Okay.
And basically, like, you know, she was working for this group because, like, you know, she's kind of like, she's lower class, and she saw this as a good way to progress. And you know, my character kind of related to her on those circumstances. And honestly, my character was a little bit of a dick to her at the beginning, but like after we both kind of found out that we're working to improve the city, like it happened kind of like towards the climax of the story, where it's like, you know, this person who's kind of really invested in finding out, like, there's someone in here who doesn't belong. And she found me. And then like we kind of had a heart to heart, and she was like, oh, wait, you and I are not that different after all. And I'm like, no, we're not, but I need to get out of her. And she's like, I can try and help you, but honestly, I've told people about you by now, so and then I got bounced.
Cool.
But yeah,
So
Jade Zhu is my colleague.
Jade Zhu.
here
And this
in
is another interlude. So we can do an interlude. You can call Jade. You can go meet up with Jade. Like this will be another interlude. Remember, we're in the interlude phase now. It always starts with action every issue. Then we go into the investigation, which is the interludes, and things are ticking down. Every time you do an interlude, the villain is getting closer to getting away, or maybe committing another murder, or getting further in their plan.
Okay, and what was this guy's name from? So I turned
Archie
to
Morton.
Meatman. Meatman, what was our guy's name? I have a contact on the inside.
Archie Morton. I think his family owned a steakhouse.
Oh, steakhouse? Is that real?
Don't worry
how
about
can
it.
you tell?
A little grim humor.
You know what? I'm not going to ask.
Probably
give me
best
1
you
minute.
don't.
And Rafe,
Yeah.
do you know anything about this? Does this person target security officers? Is this a one-time deal? Like,
Listen, the only patterns I've figured out is someone gets murdered every 3 days.
That's
so
it.
you know Jack.
And there's
shit.
one thing.
Got it.
The only thing I can tie together that's common is they all work second shift jobs. That's all
It's
I've
like
got.
half the city.
Why do you
man.
think I was so mad when you ran in on the
3
scene
days?
and let the murderer get away?
We're gonna have a
You know what?
talking like this
You know what?
contest.
Yeah.
Sit in the corner, Rafe. Sit in the corner. I'm gonna let the big boys do some work. All right. I call up Jade.
Yeah. You give Jade a call. Jade, what's up? What's up, Tabitha?
Hey! No, wait. She would know me by my stage name.
Oh, okay. What's up, Cat?
Yeah. Hey, Valley Cat.
I know.
So
You programmed on my phone.
yes, cool. Hi. It's been a while. But you know,
Let me guess. You
I
need
wish
something.
I'd called you afterwards, but you know, I have a very busy schedule doing crime-breaking things, and yeah, I'm really bad at calling people back. Anyway, hey, there's this guy who's dead at my feet. Don't ask. serial
about
killers
murder? What are
been
you
offing people.
Don't involve me
No,
in
serial
this.
killers been offing. I'm a superhero. I don't kill people. I've never killed anybody. Anyway,
Never killed anyone.
he's
Yet.
at
Giving
my
her the
feet,
strangest
and-
look, by the way, as I overhear that conversation.
Me neither.
And no, canonically, she has not killed anybody.
Yeah, me too.
And she's like, so I need the 411. This guy, and I list off Archie Morton, works second shift. Do you know anything about him? Anybody he might have been coming into contact with? Anything at all might help. He was clearly targeted by a serial killer who kills second shift workers. Where was he working?
Second shift.
If
That's
you
not much
know
to go
anything
on.
about.
That's not much to
It
go
is
on.
not much to go on at all.
That's
and
like
I'm,
half the city.
Super miffed about that. Yeah.
Did you tell
Yeah, I
your
know.
friend about the 3 days thing too? I mean, maybe those two huge pieces of information might reveal something.
The serial killer kills somebody every 3 days, multiple people, judging by the fact that the person who told me this, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Who was it? Archie?
Archie Morton. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I've
he's-
been talking
he's-
like a motor mouth.
He's been working here for a few months. Keeps to himself. I know he's going through some rough stuff right now. He's going through a messy divorce.
Oof. Ouch. Been there, done that.
He doesn't. Yeah. I don't know. I know he spends a lot of free time over in Eve's Garden when he's not on
Free
shift.
time in Eve's Garden.
Maybe I don't know. There's not. Like I said, he keeps himself. I don't know too much about him, and he's pretty new here. He's clean
know
though.
his schedule?
He's clean. He doesn't have any ties to the court.
That's unfortunate because he's dead. Yeah, sorry, I'm super blunt right now. Do you know where he might have been working?
Yeah. The site.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was working on. He's doing a security gig at the university. They got something going over there at the museum or something.
University, the museum?
Yeah, the museum at the university. They've got an exhibit on right now. Ancient Egypt
course
or
they do.
something. Titanic?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe it's Titanic. I don't know. I don't
Egypt,
keep up with
Titanic.
this.
Great disasters. Got it. Hey, so, thanks for taking my call. I know we haven't spoken in a while. What's up with you? How you been?
She just kind of hangs up. She's just like, "You're at a murder scene.
Okay,
Kat.
yeah, no.
You're at a
same.
murder scene.
Um,
Call me at a better time. Kat. You only call me when you need something."
No, I know. I was totally expecting you to do that. So I relay the information. University.
You said she's
He's
no
working at the
nonsense.
University. There's
Uh,
probably an exhibit on something about ancient Egypt or the Titanic. That's all I got.
What? Wraith goes, "What? That's even worse than what I had."
What are you talking about? It's an actual location. I get on the phone
Yeah.
and I'll call down to Nightlight, because I feel like if anyone knows anything about education, it's Nightlight. Like, what do you know about museums, kid?
I went one on a field trip like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, well,
I think
thanks.
they had a dinosaur exhibit, like lizards and stuff.
Hey, could you put Grendel on real quick?
Oh no, this phone's only works for Nightlight.
No, it doesn't.
You gotta call him.
Anyway, okay, hang up and I call Grendel.
The detective's still standing there, and like your phone rings. He's like watching Nightlight talk, and then Grendel's phone rings, and it's like,
I go to like reach for it to try and answer it from on his phone.
I go, Nightlight. Adult time here.
Oh, I wanted to make sure he knew I was here.
I'll put it on speakerphone. Meat man, you've got me and Nightlight and
I'm
Detective
Nightlight. I'm
Coulson.
here.
He is here.
Detective Coulson? Okay.
Wilson.
Wilson, well, just don't put me on speaker. I don't want that dirty piece of crap guy doesn't know how to do his job.
Stop.
What?
Meat man, you are on speakerphone. And Detective
No, I'm
Wilson
not. I'm
is-
just holding up to my. Oh, on that end.
Yeah. That's okay. What do you got?
Well, we got a victim up here, an Archie Morton, work paladin security. Alley Fox got a lead that maybe he was working over at the museum at the university. Maybe spent some time in Eve's
Hold on.
garden.
Hold on for just a second. Detective Wilson, is there any way you can see what kind of exhibits are going on at the university, at the museum right now?
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah, he's one of those hireable pigs.
Yeah. He goes into his that's funny. Hold on.
I know we're on speaker.
On his walkie-talkie, he's like, yeah, what's going on in the museum right now? And he calls over to like one of the patrolmen. Yeah, fine. Hey, what's going on up there? What are you looking into?
Oh,
It's been a murder.
A murder? What's the situation? Oh, the paperwork I'm gonna have to do now. I'm coming up.
Looks like it was a serial
No.
killer.
I don't think you should. We've got enough brains and investigators up here.
You're talking.
We don't need
and
another useless piece of
He's
crap.
already walking up the stairs.
I'm walking right next to him with the phone. I'm like, mate, man, we're on our way up.
Oh, that's right.
Honestly,
These things are
it
mobile.
might be welcome company.
So after a few moments, the door swings open, and you see this detective's there with Nightlight and Grendel, and he looks at the situation. Goes, "What the hell? Did this happen during the fire?" And he starts to look in the body. He's like, these markings, the way this person was killed. This is in line with the other murders that we've been tracking here in the city.
What other murders?
Wait, you've been doing your jobs? What?
Alley Cat, he's one of the good guys. Meat Man, he's been
Then
tracking
why is he
serial
wearing a
killers.
uniform?
He's not
He's
wearing
a
a uniform.
detective.
He's a detective. He's plain clothes.
Oh, never. Okay, sorry, my
He's
character's
plain
so
he's
evil.
plain clothes. He's a detective.
So, Detective, we're obviously just new to this case. Wraith here has been working it longer than we have, but have you found anything that connects the victims?
Well,
I mean, apparently this guy we fleshed him out when the fire started, so he can't be that far from us yet.
we don't have a lot to go on. Like, listen, I can get you the information for the locations of the first two victims. You can go to the scene of those crimes and see if you can get some more details. Maybe find some clues. This place is burned out. You're not going to find anything here, but these markings on that body are identical to those other two. I can get you their files. I can get you the locations. I can pull some strings. You can go in there and take a look. No questions asked.
That'd be great, Detective.
No questions
Wow.
asked, huh?
Meat Man.
He's like,
remember,
is this Meat Man?
remember, Meat Man, we're the good guys.
Meat Man, he had a really
Yeah.
big folder of paper about you.
But must be his kid's finger painting.
Yeah,
What?
Remember, we remember when I was telling you guys how horrible the well was.
Yeah.
So
I
let's.
haven't killed anyone today.
What? I don't think you should be speaking.
Let's just go investigate these other locations.
Yes, please. Let's do this right now. Come on.
We need to hurry. We only have 3 days.
We only have like 20 minutes.
All right. So he goes, yeah, he gets you the information. He gets you the files. Victim 1, Marcus Rhodes. Victim 2, Renee Jimenez.
Hmm.
So you have the address. Marcus was killed in the laundry room of his apartment complex, and Renee was killed in an alley 2 blocks from her home. Where do you want to go first?
What was the last victim to die? Was it Renee?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's go to the alley then.
All right. On your way to the alley, your phone rings, Grendel. I guess, are you all in the meat wagon?
Yeah.
Your phone rings.
Yeah.
He goes,
well,
Grendel, is this you? It's Detective Wilson.
I'm here, Detective Wilson.
There's been another murder. You guys are taking
Jesus
too long.
fucking.
We got lost. We didn't know it was going to take 3 days
Listen,
to get to this alley.
There's another victim over in Eve's garden now. It looks like they're on a rampage. I'm afraid they might strike again tonight. Listen, did you get to that other scene? Did you take a look? Did you find the clues?
We
Where
haven't
the fuck
gotten
is
there
the
yet.
Wraith?
It's been like
He's in
20
the-
minutes till we talked to you.
He's in the meat wagon with you, or whatever the name. The truck.
I turned to the Wraith. Who let you into the fucking van?
I let him in the van.
He points to Grendel.
Why
Doesn't say
didn't I
anything,
know
just
you were
points.
there?
It's because
why
he's a ghost. He's
That's
a
why they
wraith.
call me the Wraith.
Detective,
Okay.
we'll just make our way to Eve's garden then and see if we can stop this villain in the act.
Oh, I fear they've already struck, but we'll hopefully find more evidence there than.
Wait,
did
is
the
this
last
like
one.
where we can use our retcon tokens to like be at Eve's garden before the murder happens?
No, no. So retcon tokens, you establish a fact about something. Setting
murderer
element,
got
character,
caught.
villain, team, enemy group. So you can, yeah, you can't do that here. You can't retcon like we're at Eve's garden now instead. Unfortunately, you could spend a back issue token and say you know someone in Eve's garden. But all right, so you all of a
that
sudden
worked out really well for us. the
What's
first
Eve's
time.
garden again, by the way?
Eve's garden is your trendy neighborhood. That's Soda Sopa.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Soda Sopa.
I mean, I actually do know somebody who lives in Eve's Garden, but I'm not about to call this motherfucker.
So
Anyway.
yeah, each interlude, this has been ticking down. So another victim. So you arrive on the scene of the crime. The police are there. The tape is up, but you see Detective Wilson is there. He doesn't notice you right away though. He's standing over the body. He's muttering something about more paperwork. This night's never going to end. And you see that there's a young woman who's been again just ripped apart, shredded to pieces. Looks like again may have been stopped in the act. Whatever killed her, or whoever killed her, and she's found dead on the streets.
Does it appear like she was fed on?
Yeah. You take a closer look. Go ahead and assess the situation, or say the situation, or size it up, whatever you have. We're interluding still. It's another interlude.
On too.
Another interlude. The clock is ticking.
I got a 56, which I think is the same skill I used earlier, and also the same roll. So I think that's a pass.
I think that is a pass.
To investigate the situation.
Read the situation? Yeah, you have an 80%.
Yeah, that's the one. Mhm.
So you look it over, yeah. She's been torn to shreds with some sort of sharp weapon, tool, claws. There are chew or bite marks like on her neck. Something was consuming or eating her. It looks like there's big sharp teeth marks on her. You talk to the detective. You guys, he kind of pushes the other cops back. Says, "Look, give them some room, boys. Give them some room. Let them do their thing." And you go in her purse. You find some information. It looks like she's a sous chef, working in a restaurant in Eve's Garden.
No.
And
No,
she
no,
was
no.
she lives in Paradise.
This is someone I know.
And you find a bus pass in her hand. It looks like she may have been heading back home.
Wait, hold
would
on.
I know her? I mean, the chef community is.
Oh,
very
do you want to
closely linked.
use a back issue or retcon?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and spend my continuity token. and
Oh,
say
yeah.
I'm familiar with this sous chef.
What restaurant did the sous chef work at?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it's some sort of vegan place. So it's gonna be like
I'm a vegan.
yeah, we're totally like completely cross the aisle, but we respect each other's, well, maybe not the entirety of the cuisine.
Mhm.
Let's see. It's gotta be
Paradise Fresh.
Paradise Fresh. That's fine with me. I like that.
Even though she's an
Or
Eve's
Green
Garden
Paradise. Green Paradise. Ooh.
The grizzled bean.
Paradise Fresh.
Paradise Fresh.
Her name
Yeah.
was Annie Johnson.
No, Annie. Oh, okay, all right. She had a family. Annie did. She's gonna get married. You're gonna have kids. The whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. They wanted a motivated meat man. Well, they got one. That's what they have now. Can I look around? Are there any onlookers nearby? Like people that are like sitting around the scene?
Oh yeah, there are just like 20, 30 people. Like,
Can I just
watching.
go into a complete and utter rage and just start screaming at them? Which one of you saw what happened here? One of you did. What are you doing, you son? Here, you. And I'm just gonna like freaking out at everybody. You cowards, let this happen. Let this good woman go down in the street.
So what are you doing? What are you?
I'm trying to
Demonstrate the sanity and the
I'm Batman.
support that our team has.
Swear to me.
Are you using a skill here? I don't know.
Where was she? I was gonna use size someone up. I'm trying to get a feel for who might know something by like freaking them out, you know.
Okay.
Playing psychotic cop.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Okay. That's a fail, of course.
So you jump into the crowd. Do you start waving cleavers?
I'm waving cleavers left and right.
Oh my
God! Arrest this man!
I'll put like a hand on his hip and I'll be like, "It's all right, man. It's okay.
You
We'll
see,
figure it out."
the
They
patrolmen
killed
like
Annie,
reach
Nightlight.
for their guns. They put their hands on their holsters.
You want to
And-
keep those hands, you better not draw.
You have a reroll too if you want to use
Oh,
it.
I have
you
a
wanna use
reroll. I want to reroll.
Okay.
It's my loving,
Beowulf,
partnership
shave your
that
reroll.
helps
It's the
you.
only thing that keeps me from going full villain. That's a pass.
Right.
That's-
You're
Thank you,
waving
Beowulf.
It's like Nightlight. Yeah, maybe it's like Nightlight
Who
asking
did
him into
this?
this raging. I just wanted to
Are
ask
you all
him if-
just gonna stand there and let this good woman die? I mean, she's already dead, but you could get us her killer.
I think
Which
he's just
one of
trying
you
to,
saw
trying
something?
to ask if there was a witness. I think that's all he's really asking. Just if anyone saw anything.
You
Go with
see,
flavor and anger.
you see all of a sudden you hear, "Ugh!" and someone just starts throwing up in the crowd, and people are like, "Oh my god, gross, disgusting!" And you see this guy hunched over. He's like in his maybe early 20s, like a meek little guy. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, I saw it. Please don't hurt me."
Better tell me everything you saw.
Okay.
Or I promise you, your stomach's not going to be the thing that hurts most in a moment. And I got the
What?
cleaver out.
I don't know what that means.
It means I'm going to hurt you more if you don't tell me.
I thought you were the good guys.
I don't know why.
Grendel puts a giant hand on Meat Man's shoulder. He's like, "Remember, we are the heroes."
I just pat Detective Wilson on the back and I say, "Hey man, I'm sorry we're the good guys." And I walk over and join the fray.
Oh,
She made a really good cob salad. Poor Annie.
isn't there bacon in a Cobb salad?
Imitation.
Okay.
It's
Beyond
vegan.
bacon.
It's vegan.
You'd be amazed at what imitation meats can do these days.
He's like shaking his arms across. He's kind of like rocking back and forth. Please don't hurt me. I saw it. I don't want it to kill me next. This creature. It's a horrible creature. This is a big reptile. It's a big lizard thing. It had big sharp teeth and claws. And it jumped down. It just ripped her apart. It was just like
Where'd it go? Where'd it
it was
go?
fueled by rage, and it was eating her. And then it saw me, and it ran away. And I thought it was going to eat me next. And now you're waving a knife in my face.
Okay.
Citizen, where did it go? Did you see where it went?
Oh, I don't know that way. And he just points
Wrong
like down the road.
answer.
Ah! Ah! He throws up again. Ah!
All right, I think that's all he knew.
It went in the direction of the university, I think.
Oh shit!
Well, let's get to the university then.
Told you that one.
All right, you get back in the truck. The rate's already in there, waiting for you. Let's go.
It's okay. I'm all right to drive.
That's not concerning.
Yeah,
I'm mostly invulnerable, so I don't really care. But
I'm
just
mostly-
get there fast.
I'm nigh invulnerable. All right, so you get to the university or the college or whatever you want to call it, where the postgraduate kids go. You're driving, and you're just like speeding around the campus, looking for anything. You see, a young woman, a young student, And she's going between buildings. She's just kind of walking down the sidewalk. Looks like she might be heading back to her dorm. And all of a sudden, this thing leaps out of the shadows onto her.
Grendel
I freeze him.
surges out of the van and attacks.
All right, let's go to initiative.
Hop right on my bike.
I'm gonna freeze this lizard.
Actually, yeah. As soon as we see him, I'll spend my continuity token for a past issue where this villain was being tracked by Fenris Squad in issue 6 of Fenris Squad.
Okay.
And we realized that one of the ways to stop him was he was extremely vulnerable to cold because he's a lizard. And the colder his body temperature got, he almost became immobile and paralyzed by the cold.
Pretty logical, actually.
Science.
This works because, as was established by our community, this was a creature that was living on the site or in the desert where the well was built. And basically by building the well, this thing was chased out of its habitat. So you were sent out there to deal with it, and you never really caught up to it and brought it in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Fenris Squad was hunting for it, and we had one close encounter, and that's when we realized it was susceptible to cold, but it escaped. We thought it was grievously injured, so we thought it escaped, crawled off, and died. But obviously, it's regenerated, much like a lizard.
Much like a lizard. Cut its tail off, and it'll just regrow. All right, let's do initiative. Let's see if we can get through this before the end of the night. I didn't think we were going to get there. First up, our striker.
He's motivated.
He's motivated. That's right. All right, striker's up first for this round of combat. Then our leader.
Mm-hmm.
Then our artillery. Wow, you guys are top loaded. Then it's the villain. Then it's the tank. And then I don't need to roll the rest because it's all going to be villain. Okay, so
Nice.
up first in combat is our striker. So remember, at the beginning of combat, you get hero points equal to whatever it shows on your sheet there, where you don't have cards, or if you have the general hero points, and you can spend those to do all kinds of crazy things, from teamwork and such. So this thing leaps out of the shadows onto this woman. She screams. It doesn't have a chance to kill her. It just pounces on her. And you're driving the truck nearby, and so Striker, you are up first. Striker is the meat man.
Yeah.
You see this as you turn the corner.
So, like, I assume Grendel has been telling us about the cold stuff, and I'll be like, "How's it against blades?" And I'm gonna smash a button on the dashboard, and the front grill of the truck will explode, and there'll be this big like spear-headed blade, and I'm just gonna gun the vehicle and just ram it right into the lizard with my combat vehicle power. I'm trying to spear him with my truck.
Okay. Given the momentum and the speed, and this is a still target, I'm gonna give you 2 advantage, but I'm gonna give you 2 challenge because he's on top of this woman, and you might run her over. Right? You're gonna spear him, so you gotta avoid running her over.
Yeah.
Right? 2 advantage and 2 challenge.
But it's meat man. He doesn't really care. But no, I'm just kidding.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You heard what I said.
But
I don't care.
yeah,
It's
you might
her
run
name,
this.
Annie too.
You might run this woman over. This girl.
Okay. So let me do. So I'll do. So 2 and 2. All
2
right,
and 2.
So
You got speed. You were already gunning around the corner, so you just put your foot down.
okay.
All right, so we do have a bane.
And then
You
40 is good.
You succeed. So you skewer this guy for what? 40 damage.
And then I will make this use a quick power, which is basically dropping 4 time tokens on this, meaning my initiative goes to the end, and so I'll get to go again at the end of the round.
Gotcha.
Sweet.
I'm gonna say you stop short of hitting the woman, but he grabs her and pulls her up. So he's almost like holding her now as a shield. Is gonna be your bane. So anybody
Shoot the hostage.
anybody who's going to
What
try
the
and take
fuck?
an action, she is engaged. All right, leader, that is Alley Cat. What do you want to do?
Rad. Well, my action already was intended to be saving the fucking lady,
All
but
right.
now it's even more so that.
Yes.
So I already hopped on my bike. I'm out of the Meatmobile, and I am on my way to the scene. And as this motherfucking car careens towards into the lizard, I am like propelling myself off of my bike as like, you know, I hit a bump or something. I'm flying in air. I'm doing acrobatic bullshit because I've got agility to the max.
Yep.
And I'm gonna try and wrest her from the lizard's hands.
So we're using your enhanced
Can
agility.
I
for
use
this?
a teamwork maneuver?
You sure
Yes,
can.
I am absolutely.
I want to, as she's like going to, you know, like break free this woman from the lizard. I want to outstretch my hand and try and freeze his hands to like make him like, you know, recoil in pain. So that way you can like pull her free. That doesn't look like I should.
So-
crash.
So agility is my first ability. Is that a 90 percentile or an 80?
I think it's 80.
80.
But you can spend a
Oof.
hero point to
To go to
give
down
you
10.
plus 10. Yeah. Or
You know what? I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
So
So you just have to roll a extra
You
challenge.
got to roll a challenge die. Yep.
Yeah.
But you get
So-
two
Okay,
advantage
and
dice
that's-
from me. So.
you have 2 advantage dice from
Oof.
the lad. Can't remember his name.
Ooh.
Nightlight.
So what's that challenge
Wow.
dice?
How do you
Oh.
forget nightlights?
Nightlight. Sorry.
He says
Nightlight.
it every 30
Oh,
seconds.
All right.
All right,
He
well,
does say it
all
every
right,
30
so
seconds.
what D6?
All right.
I'll just, you want to roll them for her?
Yeah, I'll
Since it
roll.
doesn't
Oh,
have
yeah,
the
I'll
macro
roll.
set up.
So how many
2 advantage, 1 challenge.
One challenge.
You're so open.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
So 87, that's a
Okay.
fail though, right?
She spent the 10 to make it a
Oh.
9, giving herself a 90.
Yeah,
That's why she got the
I
challenge
spent
die.
the 10 to make it a 77.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever it is. This.
So you leap forward, and night. All of a sudden, these blasts of ice shoot past you as you're flying through the air towards this lizard creature. And this woman, she's holding its arm. She's weeping. She's crying. She's like, "Please, don't kill me." The cold hits its hands and it recoils and lets her go. So how do you grab her now and get her to safety as this thing recoils and lets her go?
Okay, so I launched myself off of my bike and towards this thing. And as its its hands recoil from the cold, I'm like, flying midair. I grab her kind of by the waist and like kick off of his face and spin myself around and prop her up and like, continue and do like a pure backflip and land on my feet on the other side.
Awesome.
And then I strike a pose.
Very cool. All right, Nightlight, it is over to you.
Okay, I got a question before I do anything. So I have the cold manipulation. It says make this effect long lasting. What does that mean mechanically?
For the whole scene.
I literally have it open to that page. So yes, the whole scene. Just
But
by
it's
chance,
like, what
I
does
have it.
that mean? Like if I say like I freeze his arms, like the whole scene, his arms are frozen,
Yeah,
like that, like it's
Yep.
that open. Okay,
it lingers. Yep.
okay, cool. So yeah, Nightlight will you see him like concentrating really hard. He'll put both of his hands together and you can see this frost start to emanate. And as it's happening, you can see the shadow behind Nightlight start to get bigger and bigger and it, like not representing remotely close to his body. And you can see at the end of the shadow, like devilish horns.
Uh-oh.
And he outstretches both hands as the lizard starts to hopefully encompass an ice. And he's like, I'm Night. And then, but he looks
God.
normal. And so I'm gonna try to use cold manipulation to freeze like either like his legs, his arm, like try and get him like immobile and just keep him locked in so that we can deal with him.
Sure. Well, how about you freeze him in place? We'll say he's stuck there. His legs are trapped in ice.
Yeah, that works.
I just moved up a token of his because I forgot he has a power that I get to move one of his tokens 2 spaces. So we'll move that up.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll for my cold manipulation. Ooh, that's kind of low, but that works. Oh, I have the reroll. Is that worth rerolling? Probably not.
Do you have?
I do, but I'd rather make it work. So I'm gonna make it long lasting with that, And then I also can make it hindering, which means I can flip an initiative card face down instead of dealing damage. I don't want to do that part. I'll do damage. And then I will spend a hero point to do my artillery and add 20 damage, so 41.
41. Okay.
And keep him locked in place. And then after like that happens, you see the shadow reduce and like he looks normal again.
Sounds good. All right. It's this lizard creature's turn. As you know, its name as Gungo, is what it was dubbed out in the desert. Grendel, Gungo. It's stuck in place. Alley Cat, I guess you're actually Alley Cat.
Uh-oh. Shit, am I the
This
closest
thing,
one to it?
It hunkers down, you can see it shivering, and it concentrates, and it just like curls up in a ball, and it grows like massively in size, like quadruples in size, and this thing's now towering, and it's gonna take a swipe at you. This thing can hit heroes. What is it? Oversized, can make melee attacks against enemies they're near or up to close. You're near, I'm going to say, with your last maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
It does
Ooh.
82 points of damage to you as it slashes at you because you took its victim from it. It looks like it wants to feed. It's hungry. It's just like fueled by rage. It's some kind of like mindless creature. It's a true creature. This lizard thing, there's nothing else going on within its head other than it wants to eat and kill.
Well, I mean, I think I start with 100.
You start with 100.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it gets
so
to-
I'm pretty fucking dead.
It gets to go again. We drop Alley Cat every session.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
wait a second. Wait a second.
Honestly,
Alley Cat, your luck power, you can use that to make his roll worse, right? Make it 102, and then he'd miss.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been like kind of nerfing myself because I'm
Luck
not even
manipulation.
using my powers because my computer is really fucking stupid right now.
Increase or
But
decrease
yeah.
the number rolled by 20. So yeah, Aaron's right. It would be 102, and
I'm
I
gonna
would
go ahead and
miss you.
use that.
Okay.
Definitely.
So you'll get how many time tokens? You get 3 time tokens. So it'll be another 3 turns before you can use that again. But it's going to swing at you a second time. I'm going to keep the roll I did, 43. It hits you for 43 damage this time. It just swings this big clawed reptilian scaled hand at you and swipes and takes a chunk out of
So
you.
I think I'm in the single
Gungo.
digits now, health-wise.
No, his first hit didn't hit you.
Yeah, so you
only
didn't
took
take the
43.
81. You're just taking the 43
Oh!
damage.
Yeah, 57.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, all right, cool. 57. I can work with that.
Now it's Grendel's turn.
So Grendel leaps out in this high arc and comes down on this thing's shoulders, and his legs just kind of ooze around and just
Gross.
clamp down on this thing's shoulders. And his left hand just flattens out and almost becomes a hood on this thing's face. And he yanks his neck back, and his right hand just turns into like just a big, almost looks like a giant cricket bat, and he just slams it down into his throat.
I will give you 2 advantage. You faced this thing before, and that's a pretty cool maneuver. Does anybody want to help out Grendel?
Does my frozen thing help him?
No.
You know what? I just got attacked. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do an assist, teamwork action thingy.
So how do you want to assist Grendel as he leaps onto the shoulders of this thing?
Yeah. So you've leapt on the shoulders of this thing, and you've sorry. Describe that again. Can you put your hand down? Or
yeah. So his left hand basically turns into this giant rocky hood over the thing's face, and he rips his head back. And then his right hand turns into like a giant stone cricket bat, and he cracks it down across his throat.
Okay. All right. Well, then I charge and I leap and I do like a Mulan style "We Are Men" kick into the fucking cricket bat, jabbing it into this dude's throat.
All right. So that's 4 advantage dice you're getting.
Thank you.
Let's see you take the spotlight.
Nope. But I got one.
Bummer.
So that.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, that hurts. It's a success for 7 damage. Well, you can use your boon to do an extra 10 if you want. 17
Yeah, I'll
damage.
use my boon to do an extra 10, and I'll use my super strength power attack. Put two tokens on it for an extra 20, so a 37 damage.
Okay. So this thing's now thrashing. It can't see. It's trying to pull you off. It's just making these horrible noises. But yeah, you faced before. It's going to try and rip you off. It's going to attack you, Grendel. 69. It's a hit. 69 points of damage. Do you have anything to?
So I'll spend a hero point and reduce that to 39 points of damage using the tank ability.
Okay. Very good. This thing gets a lot of attacks. You're kind of like engaged with it, so it's going to just keep trying to pull you off of its face. Another 50?
All right, I'll do it again and reduce that to 20.
All right. And last one where you're just kind of like in range. It can't see Alley Cat. That's why you just kind of keep swinging at you because you're enveloping this thing. 54.
All right, I will spend my last 2 hero points to reduce that to 0.
All right. Very good. So you see Grendel's just wrestling this thing and it's clawing at Grendel. And is there like what does it look like if like pieces or chunks come out of you?
Oh yeah,
does it kind of like reform back to you?
Yeah, it's like it gets torn out and it's like ribbons of flesh go flying out and then they get sucked back into his body.
Okay.
But you can still see the wounds. I mean, it still seeps blood, a blackish red blood, but it's still blood.
Okay. And then we're back to Meat Man, who went to the bottom of the turn order.
So Meat Man is going to, because I do want to point out, Meat Man does have, like, he does go into like an uncontrollable rage. And so I feel like that's fair. So he's got all sorts of weapons. So he's going to smash the windshield and burst through it. He's not even going to get out. And he's just going to leap onto the lizard while it's trying to rip away on Grendel. And it's just, I'm going to hack away at like the frozen arms that Nightlight and see if I can just shatter them and break them completely off. So I'm going to use Arsenal. And I'm using a giant meat tenderizer.
Yeah.
I forgot. So, Aaron, they're asking in chat how you get more hero points. You should have had a whole bunch from diffusing that situation, that complication. So you actually have more. You have 3 more.
Oh, okay.
4 more. Sorry. Yeah, the way to get more hero points, your hero points refill at the beginning of each encounter. You also gain a hero point by taking a tick off of a complication. Nightlight gets 3 also.
I have 3. Yeah.
All right.
How many do most heroes start with?
Well, then I will spin one to teamwork maneuver on what you just said.
Awesome.
I'll freeze his hands for you since his legs were frozen.
Okay. So I'm swinging at his arms and legs now because if they're both frozen, I'm trying to literally fracture the frozen limbs of this creature.
We got all the limbs frozen.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give yourself another 2 challenge, or not challenge, advantage dice.
Okay. So 2.
It's also blind. It can't see, so it can't really defend itself.
Nice.
So that's 2 good ones.
You get 2 more from Nightlight team.
Oh, I get 2 more on top of it. All right, let me do that. Okay, so it's a success.
Yep.
I will spend 3 hero points to use my striker ability to add 60 damage.
Whew.
I will burn the other 2 successes to add another 20 damage. So 95 points of damage.
Okay.
As I'm, she was a sweet lady. And I'm just completely lost it.
So this thing just it's screaming. It's trying to pull Grendel off of it. We're going back at the top of the turn order. Artillery.
Ooh, it's me.
Nightlight again. Then our striker.
We better be careful. Nightlight's about to do something crazy.
Then our leader. Wow, the heroes are getting good initiative.
Because we're good people.
Villain. Tank. And then all villain from there on out. Okay. Interesting. All right, so Nightlight, you're up first.
You see the demonic shape once again start to get bigger, and as you guys are fighting, you probably don't notice, but Nightlight himself starts to like his face starts to kind of curl and like a smile, and he starts to get like fire in his eyes, and he is going to blow up the like whole group that's there.
All of you? What about the civilian?
I'm gonna do it not hitting the civilian. I'm just gonna hit like the big group. So just like the people on.
Why do you always attack your friends?
Because he's evil.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna do fire manipulation. I'm making it. Oh, I don't have to make an area attack. Oh, never mind. Okay, I didn't know that. All right, so I'm just gonna hit him then. I thought it was always an area attack. All right, let me roll. Okay, that will work. I'm gonna flip over plus 20 damage, and I'm gonna spend my 3 hero points for an extra 60. So that's 80. So 127.
Nice.
As this demonic hand, like fire hand, like goes for the throat and starts crushing this
as
giant
you start
creature.
crushing his throat and crushing its jugular, and it's covered in ice, and Grendel's like restraining it, and it's having trouble breathing, it just collapses. It's still breathing, but it collapses with that.
I'm Nightlight.
Are you?
He's like, what do you mean? Yeah, I am. It probably like recedes as you like see it, like it starts to go away. But he has no recollection of what's happening.
With that, the Wraith comes out of the back of the truck and goes, "My work's done here." Just kind of disappears into the night.
See you in 3 days.
This guy sucked. He didn't even do anything. I don't understand.
You didn't need him. He was there in case you needed him.
Hey, I didn't get your phone number. You're not a hero.
My digits. All right, so with that, Grendel, you get a call on your phone, and it's coming from a private line. You know who it's coming from.
It's Grendel.
Grendel, good job. I see you detained, what? Subject Gungo? And
Gungo,
it's the voice of Francis Stern on the other end.
Yep. I know Agent Stern. Yeah, it's the one that got away from us back in the Fenris Squad days. Apparently, it went to ground somewhere in the city.
Good work. Well, you know what to do with it. You know we want it. You know we need it. We need to do some experimenting on that, so you need to bring it to us as soon as you can.
We'll shackle it and drive it out to the well right now. I don't want this thing waking up in the city.
Very good. A good soldier, Grendel.
Not anymore, but you're right. It's still the best place the well is still the best place for this thing.
He just kind of hangs up on you.
So,
Grendel kind of sighs. He deflates a little bit. He's like, this is one thing he doesn't want to do, but he recognizes that it's the best thing to do in this situation.
So Matt, in the cells for that conversation, behind Grendel, as his back is turned, Meatman is just smashing the body of this thing with a giant meat tenderizer the whole time, screaming about how Annie was a sweet lady and she didn't deserve this.
Sure, this blood is just pouring out, and
the whole time.
Ooh, and if I may, this is like perhaps a little bit vain of me, but the back like page of this panel in the comic is just like a one shot of me like in the alley hearing, yes, the well is the best place for him, and also that comment about a good soldier, and just like close up on my face.
That's awesome. Yes. Tune in next week. Oh, next week's issue is titled "Blood in the Streets" Part 1. We got a multi-part adventure starting.
Yeah.
Blood in the streets, blood in the sheets. That's Meatman's.
Blood in the streets.
No!
What?
No!
I don't think so. All right. Thank you, everybody who stuck around with us. We started a little late due to technical difficulties. We appreciate you sticking with us through this. It was another fun issue of Spectaculars, craziness with the Covenant. I feel they're coming together. I think they're really starting
Oh,
to
we
gel
did a
as
pretty
team.
good job. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did.
Way better than that other hero.
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know. I don't have
I
the
don't know. I
fun
don't
of
remember his
looking
name
at a
either.
hero.
corner and do nothing.
So
Happens every 3 days.
we've
It
we've now
happened
unlocked
20 minutes later.
20 minutes later. Shit.
My calculations are wrong.
I never learned how to count or to read.
we we've unlocked the pulp hero and the investigator. You do have the options to have more than one hero that you want to play as. So you can jump back.
I
and
can make
forth.
Spuds Bob.
No, Spuds.
Oh my-
Spuds is now a legit NPC in here.
Yes, Buds is my friend.
So that's been unlocked. Everyone gets 2 experience. You get 1 experience for fighting the villain last week. You get experience for fighting the villain this week, and Alley Cat and Nightlight get an additional experience for overcoming their aspiration, turmoil, whatever it was at the beginning of the session. So I think the 2 of you have unlocked story points, which means you get to unlock some more stuff. I know, Paul Piro, Jeremy, that's your thing, my thing. We love it. Let's do the round table here. Jeff, what do you got going on this week?
Friday, twitch.tv/thelollygaggers. We are playing Delta Green, continuing our Impossible Landscapes campaign. Saturday, we're doing Worlds Without Number. And maybe Monday, we're coming back for Alien Game. Stay tuned for that. We'll figure that out later.
It's on me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry if we don't. It's my fault. Pat, what do you have going on this week?
Hey everybody, I'm Spider Queen Long. You can find me at Twitter at long_spider if you don't already know me. If you do, you'll know I co-host Diesel Shot, a fellow stream in this world of Twitch. And we are doing High Roads on Monday, which is our ongoing D&D 5e campaign. We just restarted, and we are going strong. It's an absolutely fun D&D setting, homebrewed kind of fusion German-Japanese setting, and it's very interesting. We've got a whole bunch of role-play heavy characters and or cast members, and some very interesting characters. So that's Monday. Next week, this week's kind of an off week. Thursday next week, we are resuming our Fallout campaign for part 3, Into the Rad Storm, as we go to fucking war with the Enclave, motherfuckers. It's like this is the climactic event of the season, of our season. Diesel Shot's finally concluding, coming into the end game of its Fallout campaign, and this has been a long time in the making, so tune in on Thursday nights on Diesel Shot for the return of Uranium Fever. And on next week, again, on Saturday, I'll be running a late night Mothership game. And it'll be super fun. So
Very cool.
Tune in on Diesel Shot or follow me on Twitter, Spider Queen Long.
Do both.
Both, yeah.
Do both. Do both.
I retweet everybody here, so
Yeah.
yeah, everybody. It's
your
in
mark-
everybody's best interest. To
That's your
follow me.
marching orders. Do both. All right, Aaron, what do you got going on for the rest of the week?
Tomorrow, Wednesday, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition on Garblag Games at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Then on Friday, Garblag Games at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we will be having the final episode of the Dune prologue of House Dargouche. We're going out into the desert to hunt the worm and do some political machinations, and then back Sunday night on Free League, we'll be playing some Aliens. No, we won't be playing
Not
Aliens
this week,
week.
sadly.
Not this
Again, due to me.
Due to Matt. But
Yeah.
when we do come back for Aliens, our squad is sandwiched between the UPP and the Blackguards while we try to save a bunch of civilians, probably die and or get court-martialed in the process.
Yeah. Good times. Evan, you got anything else going on this week?
Nope, since we're not playing Alien. We're just getting prepped for Symbaroum mini campaign in the next few
Symbaroum
weeks.
coming up soon.
That sounds fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that's it for me this week as well, because yes, I will not be running Alien on Sunday, and I will not be playing an Alien on Monday. Maybe. I need to confirm on that. So we'll see on the Lollygaggers channel. But again, thank you everybody who tuned in tonight, stayed with us throughout our technical difficulties. We appreciate it. This game's a lot of fun, and we're just starting to scratch the surface on it. So we'll see you again next week, Tuesday. We'll for sure be back for that. Have a great week, and see you later.